KVUE News at 5 starts right now.
Thank you for watching KVUE News at 5. I'm Adam Bennett.
And I'm Quita Culpepper, and we continue to follow a monumental update from Austin police as investigators announce they've solved the infamous yogurt shop murders 34 years after 4 young girls were murdered.
And while there's no change to the horror, no wiping away any of the wrongs, no diminishing the grief, we can finally express a deep sigh, a release that comes from knowing.
Today, local leaders and investigators spent more than 90 minutes detailing the significance and impact of naming a suspect in the deaths of 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison, her sister, 15-year-old Sarah, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, and 13-year-old Amy Ayers.
Now police say Robert Eugene Brashers, a known serial killer tied to crimes in at least 4 other U.S. states, killed those girls on the night of December 6th, 1991. Police say over time they were able to link Brashers to the Austin killings using DNA and ballistic evidence. APD had a genetic profile of a male suspect as far back as 2004, but it wasn't until this year that they linked it to Brashers because it matched DNA collected in South Carolina in 1990.
The lead APD investigator on the case says this is a development that could not have happened until now.
This is a combination of technology, good police work from multiple agencies and cooperation and timing. Because, for example, the Kentucky case, they didn't resubmit their knife and shell casing until last year. So this is something that could not have happened until 2025. And I'm sorry that it took 34 years for us to get here, but we're here now.
Brashers died by suicide in 1999, so he will never stand trial for the murders of those 4 young girls. But Mayor Kirk Watson said today, Austin is a step closer to closure.
And this day couldn't come soon enough for the families and loved ones of these victims.
Today, they were finally able to get some relief. One by one, each gave a statement about the breakthrough in this case. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez joins us live from the area where the yogurt shop used to be. Kelsey.
Adam and Quita, for over 30 years, these families wondered what happened to their loved ones, and last week they finally got their answer. And while you just said that Robert Brashers will never be tried for these murders, these families say they finally have some peace. Now, one by one, at least one person from each family gave impact statements about closing this chapter in their lives. While each expressed some form of gratitude to law enforcement officials for finally solving this case, they added the pain and loss will always remain. The lead detective of the case, who took over back in 2022, apologized for the length of time it took, but says the technology just wasn't there at the time. He credited one of the victims, Amy Ayers, for fighting back that night at the shop. Investigators were able to retest DNA from under her fingernails, ultimately leading to the match to Robert Brashers. Her brother Sean and Sarah and Jennifer's mother just grateful they have some closure.
I'm full of gratitude. It has been so long, and all we ever wanted for this case was the truth. We never wanted anyone to go to jail or be charged with anything that they did not do. Vengeance was never it. It was always the truth.
The result you see today is when you have an army of people working together to reach a common goal, not for themselves, but for the victims and their families. Thank you to all of you.
Detectives still don't know Brashers' connection to Austin or why he was in the city at the time. But this investigation is not over. Officials are still looking into other aspects of this case, but we'll have more family reaction coming up at 6. Live in North Austin, I'm Kelsey Sanchez, KVUE News.
Kelsey, a day they've been waiting a long time for. Thank you so much. And this investigation has been ongoing for several years now, but Brashers was not the first suspect that investigators believed was connected. 4 young men were accused of the crime 26 years ago. 2 of them were actually convicted. 1 was even sentenced to death. But over the years, those cases unraveled and the convictions were eventually thrown out. This afternoon, we spoke with one of the men's attorneys who is now calling for formal exoneration. That story is coming up tonight on KVUE News at 6.
The parents of those young girls who were killed in that yogurt shop in 1991 say they were just normal teenagers who had so much life left to live. And KVUE's Bob Buckaloo tells us more about who Amy, Jennifer, Sarah, and Eliza were.
If there was ever anyone who was nearly born in the saddle, it was Amy Ayers. Raised on ranches in North Texas, Amy was a little self-conscious about being a cowgirl when her family moved to Austin in 1985.
She was an animal lover. She really loved cats, and horses were probably her favorite of the animals. So we've got stuffed animals of all kinds to go with that.
Barbara Wilson lost both of her daughters, Jennifer and Sarah Harbison. The girls were close in age, and Jennifer and Sarah shared a passion for raising sheep as members of the future farmers of America.
And the funny thing is, they really just love those animals in the first and second place because they just love them.
We got pictures of them just kissing them on the face and nose to nose with these lambs.
They're so funny. Gosh, they're funny. As a matter of fact, this is Jennifer's pin from the yogurt store for her uniform. I didn't even know that was here.
Scenes from a backyard wedding in 1989. It was here at her mother's wedding that most of what little home video there is of Eliza was taken. Having fun in front of the camera or some quiet time with mom on the couch are some of the few video memories of 17-year-old Eliza. She wanted to be a model, and she loved dancing and country music. Maria Thomas, Eliza's mom, died 10 years ago, but her daughter Sonora, who was Eliza's younger sister, spoke for her family today.
I know now what happened, and that does ease my suffering. And I can continue to pass on all the kindnesses that have been shown to me over the decades, and hope that I can ease the suffering of others.
4 young lives suddenly lost, and the lingering question of what might have been. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
Bob, thank you. And as mentioned, we will continue to have more coverage on this story coming up tonight on KVUE News at 6 and 10.
And if you missed the full press conference with officials this morning, you can watch the whole thing on our streaming app, KVUE+. We'll be airing it again in its entirety at 6:30.